We have this operation called the Father's voice. The Father's voice is where the Son manifests the Father's voice through visions, through prophecy, actually through the prophetic ministry. The prophetic ministry includes visions, prophecies, trances, audible voice. This is where the Son will manifest the Father's voice in different ways in which God speaks. God speaks through the audible voice. When people hear his voice, like a person speaking, it could be in a trance, in a vision, or even when people are awake. One day in class, I said somebody will hear God's audible voice. As I was teaching, somebody had a voice saying, "I am present." But normally people hear it in visions while they're seeing a trance, having a trance. They'll hear the audible voice. It can be through the gifts of knowledge or the revelation gifts. It can also be the vocal gifts, which are tongues and interpretation, or can be through the word of knowledge, word of wisdom. Just demonstrating the Father's voice through different ways. Remember that the Son is the one who manifests the Father. People cannot know the Father except if the Father is manifested through his sons. Then we have the other one called communication with the Father. Communication with the Father is where people ask God something. They communicate with him. For example, when God revealed this thing to me, it was when he showed me the ministry of the Old Testament, where people used to go to prophets and then they'll ask what God is saying. And then God will speak to the prophet and speak to them. In the New Testament, we have what the prophets of the Old Testament had, the Old Testament believers had, and more. They still operate, and we have more in the New Testament. This is why people would ask God anything. And then the Lord would answer them instantly, maybe through a prophecy, through a vision, a trance, or audible voice, or whatever method he may choose to communicate, or whatever method the Son may choose that the Lord communicates with. Remember, we're in a partnership. I remember one day somebody asked me, he said, "I want to know why things don't happen in my time." I was doing this ministry of communication with the Father after the Lord revealed it to me. I said, "Anybody wants to ask God something?" He said, "Yes, I want to know why things don't happen in my time." Then I said, "Fine, right now God will answer you through a vision and an audible voice." And the guy fell under the power after I laid hands on him. And then he saw fire. From the fire came a voice, audible voice, saying, "Things don't happen in your time because you don't want to do things in my time. You must learn my time. Don't try to..." God was trying to explain to him that don't try to force God to do things in his time. He must learn God's time. So after he heard that voice and the fire, he woke up and he had gotten his answer. Sometimes when people ask God for something or about something, I answer them through a prophecy. That means I'll give them a prophecy saying, telling them what God is saying. Then after that, maybe I'll give them half of the prophecy. Then I'll ask God to finish it through a vision or an audible voice, because it's different ways of which God communicates. God speaks in different ways. The Bible speaks of visions, trances, audible voice, dreams, and it's a package. We shouldn't just take tongues or just prophecy and leave the others behind. It's a whole package. Here, I want you to watch communication with the Father. Just take time and watch how it happens.
She wants to know God's plan for her life. Okay, Father, thank you for showing her a vision of your plan for her life. You saw a light? The light speaks of God's plans with you. The rainbow speaks of covenant. God is saying that He's with you, man. This is what you should know now. The Lord is with you now. The rainbow is a covenant. Always like that. So the light speaks of His presence with you. So God is saying He's with you. Whatever you're going through, He's with you.
Kita masih mensuaikan selain ini.
Mana orang tak tahu itu mensuaikan selain ini. Kamu mau profit? Masa orang itu baru tahu mau profit? Apa? Aku bilang ni mana? Mana bermasa? Kau baru tahu tak sebab? Ni ada. Boleh.
Gimana jenis bagi sisi? Gimana cara orang makan cikan sepuluh. Jadi kita ni
So then people are going to the right to put your limits. Go to the face. It's a